Hi, and welcome back to our community spotlight. This is Amy at our Greenwood Village office. I am sitting down with Joey Abdullah today. Um, Joey, thank you so much for sitting down with me. Um, I really appreciate it. And let's see here. Tell us a little bit about your company and what you do.
Sure. No, thanks for having us. And anytime can meet some other members, it's always cool to be able to do this. So happy to connect. Been part of the enterprise family for quite a few years, and my company called Framework Agency. We primarily run in the marketing and sales consulting world, and that kind of says a lot. But we really work a ton with anybody that's in a high commission type industry. So real estate, mortgage, financial advisors, insurance, coaches, consultants, attorneys, those types of folks. Really just to set up a simple system to get them more booked calls is what we want to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know you guys have been quick to kind of jump on utilizing a lot of AI technology for your clients. So tell us a little bit more about that because I think it's really interesting.
Sure. I mean, AI is a pretty big buzzword, and we're trying to stay ahead of it just like everybody else is. It's the cat's out of the bag, so it's not going anywhere. So what we've tried to embrace is there's a lot of noise out there. I think if anybody's on Instagram or LinkedIn or any of the major social media, platforms, you see a bunch of ads, you see a bunch of kind of gimmicky type tools. And so what we try to do is go look at all of them, and the ones that do work well, we try to weave those into our own offering for our own clients. And so if it's an AI answering service, if it's an AI calling service, if it's an AI texting, type of a service that's out there, we like to go take a look at what is out there, and then if we're able to kind of we weave that into the offer for our own clients as well.
Right. So if it is something that makes sense for them, why not take advantage and utilize that? Also in some of the content creation too, being able to leverage the AI to create some of that stuff in such a quick way to do it. I mean, it's really great for a lot of the stuff that you guys have been doing. Um, so tell me a little bit more about, because I kind of want to give our members an idea of um, like a successful campaign for one of your clients. Or, I mean, I know that everything that you guys are doing is very tailored to their specific company or needs, but
Sure.
just to give an idea so our members kind of understand what type of marketing tools you're doing.
Sure. So, I say we install a simple system, and we kind of handhold our clients through this entire, build out where we do all the building. We just want to get, the flavor, the content, everything from that specific client. You asked for a specific use case. So we have a client out in Florida, and she's in the real estate industry, and she has a very specific niche. And, a lot of us want to, when we say we'll work with anybody, sometimes that ends up having us work with nobody, right? So the more specific the better. So her use case is pretty interesting. We're really comfortable, and we do a lot of stuff, like I said, with anybody in a high commissioned, high trust type industry where we have to build trust fast. And so what she does, she's out in Florida, but she does business nationwide, and her very specific niche is she works with folks going through a divorce that have a real estate portfolio. So if you have a bunch of rental properties and you're going through a divorce, this is her exact niche and her lane. The reason, let's say you had 10 or 12 properties, well, it's not as easy as, hey, split everything down the middle, right? There's leases in place, there's tenants, multiple states, multiple tax jurisdictions. There's
Right.
just a bunch of stuff that goes on, right? And so she's really carved a name for herself in this specific niche where um, the folks that she's marketing directly to divorce attorneys all over the country. And we've been setting up super simple systems. A lot of it is with video where she's able to kind of showcase her expertise pretty quickly
Yeah.
and talk about that nuance. And then she's built out a database of trusted advisors on the finance side, the tax side, to where she can basically come in and roll up her sleeves with specific, scenarios. And let's say you got a couple properties in California, one in Illinois, one in Florida, and which spouse is getting which property, and again, are we gonna sell the places? Are we gonna, put new leases on them? So she's really carved a niche for this, and that entire, I keep calling it a system, just anything that's repeatable and scalable
Right.
is what we want to do. And so this simple system we have, it's really built that all she now has to go do is talk to a bunch of divorce attorneys, and she just needs to get them to trust her to send their clients, hey, click this link, watch this video, see if this is, the scenario that you guys find yourself in. If it is, you should book a call with her.
Yeah, so it's allowing you to really target her exact clientele, you know?
Exactly. And that's such a specific, clear use case that
Right,
she obviously can help folks, buy or sell anything in the real estate world. But because she's chosen to be so specific,
right.
ironically, she ends up getting a bunch of other business that's outside of that just because she ends up being top of mind for this specific use case.
Yeah, yeah. Very cool. Um, Now talk a little bit about what sets Framework apart from some other companies in the similar field.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing that I'd say we do, and I'm biased because it's me and our folks that work on our team. We want to make everything approachable. Marketing, if you really think of the baseline, there's marketing and there's sales, and there's usually a gap in between those two. Marketing is really just getting attention, right? And there's only, I don't say there's only, there's numerous ways to get attention. You could jump up and down on TikTok, you can send emails, you could cold call. There's just ways you can get attention for you and your company. I mean, that's what a traditional marketing agency does, right? They get attention for you. And then there's the sales side, which is typically the folks that we work with. We want to work with anybody that's really comfortable one-on-one with a potential client, maybe in front of a classroom, maybe in front of a web class like on a webinar. So if you're good one-to-one, you're kind of good with the sales side. The marketing side, like you're asking, how are we different? Lots of people can be noisy and get attention.
Right.
We're perfect for that bridge, right?
Okay.
To get everybody from that attention, we want to convert the attention into a booked call for you.
Right. Getting that step closer to that sale for them.
Exactly. And again, the systems, which doesn't need to sound complicated, just something that's repeatable, scalable, simple.
Right.
That's what works, right? In a system, it doesn't need to be anything that's too robust. It could be as simple as if somebody DMs me the word house, that I send them a home buying guide, right?
Right.
That technically is a system, but most people, they overcomplicate it, or they don't set up a nice simple system to bridge from the marketing, the attention side to convert that into how do I actually book a call with somebody?
Right. Right.
We'll get
And
to
the
that here.
fact that you can easily take that and then repeat and continue to grow that way.
Exactly. And then you were mentioning earlier, won't go down the rabbit hole, but how do we weave AI tools into these things?
Right.
That's where we'll take a look at the specific use case. If somebody does, click through, watch a video, watch a webinar that you were on, click on a link, DM, all those systems, we can kick in some AIs that are appropriate to maybe remind you and remind the client, like, hey, you started down this path of getting information about X, Y, and Z. Are you still interested in that? A lot of times, what AI is the best for is to automate your best intentions.
Right.
And we mean to get back to that client. We have the sticky note on our monitor. Well, let's just add a little bit of a computer that doesn't go to sleep and can nudge us and remind us and our clients.
Yeah, it's making that building those leads and generating those very targeted leads and qualified leads more obtainable or easily obtainable and for your client, right? I mean,
Absolutely. And this bridge that I keep mentioning between sales and marketing, if I have the attention, usually what's missing that gap, there's a trust gap is typically what we find that it is. We're in a trust void in our society. We're skeptical, all these crazy guarantees. We're skeptical of all the scams that are out there. We're just skeptical, right? And so if we can help create a small, simple little bridge that builds that trust and you can scale that, that's how you're going to win, right? Because again, most of the folks that we talk to and who we do the best work with are the ones that are really good. You know, if they raise their hand and say, "Hey, that's me," you get me one-on-one with a client. If I'm on Zoom, if I'm in person, if I'm teaching a class, I connect really well. I like talking to people. I just need more of those appointments.
Right,
That's what this works really well for.
right. Yeah, I love it. And then let's see, any specific industries that are, I mean, you said you kind of are working with mortgage, um, real estate. Do you have any other potential businesses or companies or fields that you kind of would like to target, but maybe through enterprise, maybe there's some other businesses out there that could really benefit from this type of work?
Sure. No, and it really is if we're just thinking of a highly commoditized industry, those tend to be, mortgage, real estate,
Right.
attorneys, financial advisors, insurance salespeople, coaches, consultants,
Yeah.
really anybody that's in kind of a higher commission,
Right.
higher trust, right? The barrier to trust somebody tends to be higher because it is, usually something that's emotionally draining, financially draining, right? Buying a house,
Yeah.
going through anything with an attorney. But how do I build, trust fast? If I Google somebody, that's one version of it, but I'm still like having to siphon through, a ton of, maybe reviews, maybe they have a YouTube channel. There's just a lot of noise that's out there.
Yeah.
So if somebody really finds themselves in that line of work, really we do well with, very small businesses like solopreneurs, maybe a very small team. Really, and I know I'm rambling here, but if you're the expert and you see other people out there that are getting more business than you, and you know that you're better, that's our perfect client, right? Because the only real problem you have is just getting more attention on you and then converting that attention into a booked call.
Right. Right. And so you heard it. If you are a small entrepreneur here, yeah, and want to talk to Joey and his team and you know see if they can do some work for you and get you to where you need to be. Which I mean, enterprise is full of small business, so I think this is a great place for you to kind of um, talk
And
about
one
what
last
those
thing that I'll
are.
that I'll offer for anybody, part of the enterprise family or just anybody. So there's really, I mean, there's probably more, but the way I break it down is there's two types of marketing, right? Most of us think of marketing as like the pretty marketing, like
Sure.
a nice pretty website, it flows nicely, graphic design, the calligraphy, the logos, like that is very important marketing. That's branding, that's positioning.
Right.
And then there's what I would say is more like the technical marketing, setting up the systems to
Yeah.
take that attention that you get typically from pretty marketing and convert that into those calls. We do really well with that side. And I bring this up because if you do have your website team, if you do have your SEO team, if you do have the person running your ads, we'd love to just make sure that you have a nice, like simple system in place to take all of that you're currently doing and just convert that into more consistency for your calendar to fill up. So
Right, right. And yeah, and what you guys are doing as far as utilizing the AI and the tools to do that for people is, I think it's awesome and it's working for your clients. So, really, really interesting and smart stuff you're doing for small business. Um, and you've been with Enterprise for a long time. So tell me a little bit about that and how you like the space and our business community here.
yeah, I mean, obviously great friendly atmosphere. Been here for a few years, left for a little bit, came back. So it's a great little community. It's always cool to, be around the energy in an office. Ironically, I'm at my home office today, but this is why I'm part of Enterprise is I need to be around other people. So
Yeah.
today didn't work out.
We love having you guys here. So, is there anything that you want to, speaking directly to our viewers and to our members, that you want to tell them about the company or want to offer them? And we'll have links to your website and your contact information as well. But if somebody's interested, what would you want to tell them?
Yeah, sure. I mean, again, I bring it up a lot, but if you're in really one of those high trust, high commission type industries, you want more booked calls, love to chat with you, see if this would be a fit. And we're the first ones to say, hey, I don't think that we're a good fit, as well. So if somebody's interested and this piques any intrigue of getting more booked calls, then love to see if we're a fit.
Yeah, perfect. Joey, thank you so much. I love learning a little bit more about your business and love to see what you guys are working on and who you're working with. It's always fascinating to work with other business people and yeah, so we'll, put all your contact information below and people can reach out to you if they're interested and find out more. Okay. Thank you
Cool.
so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. That's our community spotlight. We'll see you next month.